Hi Cancer, this is Leah Fresh Astrology. We're looking at August 2019. The big news in August is that Jupiter's going direct. Other things are happening too, but we're going to focus on that. And also, just kind of touch base after eclipse season. How are you doing? Are you still intact? And talk about kind of the zone of the chart where this is happening, because this is a zone that, even though the eclipses have, already occurred, this is a zone that's still very active throughout the year and into the early next year. So the themes that we're getting activated in July are still very much present here. They haven't gone away. There were just there was a lot going on in July, a lot of thinking and researching and reviewing and rethinking and maybe letting go of some ideas and picking up others. But a lot of it for the Cancer has to do with relationships in terms of the larger themes. Who do you partner with? So this could be in business, but also in love. Who are you partnering with? How are they? How's it going? Some of you may have gone into couples therapy, or you're in a long series of trying to work something out if you've been together. If you're single but dating somebody, you may have a strong, maybe a love-hate relationship with the idea of commitment. Or some of you may really be in an intense relationship that's looking like a long-term relationship. Maybe you haven't gotten engaged yet or married yet, but there's a very powerful relationship. It looks like if you're dating someone and this person is good for you, that being the big question, are they good for you? Are there power struggles? If so, how do you work those out? I would say it's very important in any relationship a Cancer is in now and in the near future to really be thinking about power struggles, power issues, and how both of you approach this. How do you deal with it? But I would say if you're single and you find somebody who's mature and seems like a keeper, then some of you may find yourselves engaged or getting married over the next year. And this has been, maybe you just met this person in July, or maybe it got more serious in July. If you're single and dating, if you're single and just single, not dating, you don't have anybody special, somebody special may come in by the end of the year. I think if you weren't dating anyone, there was really no one in the picture during July. There could have been some work partnership things going on, and maybe things, sometimes you're looking at themes to do with exes, like is there a big theme going on with an ex partner, long-term partner. It could have been a spouse, it could just be somebody you were with a long time. Are there things you're working out with that person or within yourself that have to do with this old relationship? Are you working things out that are lingering from the past? Pluto, the one thing, no matter what your situation is, what Pluto and Saturn are asking of you is that you learn from your past relationships and your current relationships, and that you keep learning and applying what you've learned. So that you don't keep repeating the same mistakes over and over again. The goal is for you to be happy in love and relationship, but it looks like maybe there's some things that have needed to get worked out, sometimes with another person, but really it's you. How, are you scared of getting in a relationship? Are you, does it feel like something's preventing you? Sometimes when you have Pluto and Saturn together, especially in certain areas of the chart, it could feel like there's a blockage. So do you feel prevented from getting into a relationship? Do you feel blocked? And if you are in a relationship, do you feel like somebody's putting up a wall and you don't have as much access, or you don't feel as connected because there's this wall around the person. The goal would be to, probably get some help, from a therapist. It's hard when somebody's built a wall. It's hard for you, just being one person. It's not your job to break down a wall. It's up to that person to figure that out. And so, what do you do in the meantime? Well, you can get help for yourself. You can have open communications. You can learn new ways to deal with this that are productive. So a lot of maturity is being asked for here. And I would say the chart's asking you to learn from the past, to not make the same mistakes, and to probably have good boundaries, better boundaries, good boundaries, but if healthy boundaries include, or healthy boundaries don't include a big wall or fortress around you or around the other person. So healthy boundaries aren't impenetrable walls or fortresses. Healthy boundaries, they definitely are boundaries. There are clear boundaries, but they're not impenetrable, and they don't feel like walls conceptually when you're with somebody. It doesn't feel like somebody's just cutting you off or not communicating, but it also feels like people can have their space if they need it, and they feel like there are some healthy boundaries, that somebody's not clinging to them all the time or needing to be with them all the time. They have some space. Healthy boundaries is a longer conversation. So it's just what's going on in your world. Are you dating? If you're not, do you have a big wall around you? Do you have an impenetrable fortress around you if you're not dating? Or are you attracted to people who aren't available, who are emotionally unavailable or just aren't available? Is that who you are attracted to? And that's an issue. But there's some kind of perceived blockage, or if the blockage is real, it's because you've put it there. There's no, the universe isn't deciding we're going to prevent you, Mrs. Mr. Cancer, we're going to prevent you from having a relationship. So it's nothing that has been imposed on you. It's something you can control, but you've got to figure out what it is. What is preventing you? It's something you're doing. So you've got to figure out how to, what you're doing and how you can remove that blockage. It may involve therapy. It may involve getting some help. But definitely noticing what it is you do and how you put yourself in a situation. So this is so individual. I really have to work with you as an individual to really figure out, what is this? But hopefully that gives you some ideas. But Jupiter, let's get back to Jupiter. So Jupiter has been in your 6th house, which has to do with your health and your schedule. And sometimes this includes the health of others and the schedule of others close to you, like a spouse or a child or maybe a parent. Do you have a child who needs help, extra help with their health? Do you have a child who needs help with their schedule? Does their schedule influence your schedule? Do you have a parent who needs help with their health and that their schedule influences your schedule? These are just questions. It's going to fit different people, different ways. Do you have do you feel like your own schedule is just out of control? Possibly Jupiter retrograde helped you feel like you could get your schedule under better control, or at least maybe you were trying to. I don't know, Jupiter going direct, if you felt like your schedule's out of control. It could be, because it does, there is a lucky element here. If you could have some luck coming your way in terms of taking care of the elements of your schedule that are just crazy. You may get some help. Maybe you hire, because 6th house, you can hire people to help you with things. Who can you hire to help you? Maybe you need to hire somebody or multiple people to help you with something. So you may be looking at some hiring. And you could have put a pause on that, but maybe something in August, it really shifts and you think, I need to move forward with these hiring plans as of mid-August. That may be how you help yourself with all this work, because it does feel in your chart, it's a time of year when you tend to have a lot of activity in your work zone. So you may be moving forward with some plans to do some hiring, or just a lot of activity at work. And then if you're not doing directly hiring people to help you, the question becomes, how do you help yourself balance your life and take care of your health while you're also doing all this work? Because there's a lot going on for you this year in terms of your workload. It's lucky, it has good, because of Jupiter's presence here, it feels lucky. But at the same time, you want to take care of yourself. So the question is how? How do you do that? Mercury retrograde really had a lot to do with you directly, and the eclipse zone is definitely hitting you personally, and also all the stuff with Pluto and Saturn, it's very personal to you. So you yourself are challenged to figure out how you can play well with others at work, in your friendships, with your exes, with any current love partners. It's with the Mercury retrograde and all the eclipse stuff and the nodes. It's how can you learn about yourself, see yourself with some objectivity, and then not judge yourself harshly, but learn, to see, gain some clarity, learn and move forward so that you're not repeating the same mistakes. So in July, you may have gotten some big aha moments or had some conversations or some realization. Well, I guess aha moments or realizations, or been told you need to work on X, Y, and Z. And so through the process of going through July, you may have come around to seeing how you could do better with certain things in terms of your relationships, and come away with some resolve to work on some things, which would be good. That does seem to be the theme here. And again, it's not to punish you, it's to help you so you can have really good, solid relationships moving forward. So for you to do that, you've got to learn some things, you've got to see some things about yourself and not repeat over and over again some certain things that have gotten in your way before. But I do want to just reiterate, say one more time, that there is no planetary divine design to to prevent you from having love in your life. The thing that's preventing you is you, which is so hard. But it's not like a criticism of you. I'm not saying you're bad and you're so bad that you're preventing yourself from having love because you're bad. I'm saying, and the planets are saying, there's some kind of patterning from your past that gets in your way. It could be just fear of commitment, fear of somebody having control over your emotions, or, it's going to be very unique to each individual, but there's some internal, maybe always related to your past, thing that gets in your way, and your job now is to learn what it is so you can clear it. You can develop really healthy, good relationships. So that is it. Remember to balance your schedule, remember to take care of your health, and have a great August.